Um, Today we are going to work on exercise 8, which is effects. And I'm going to go ahead and open up a new file, new page. And we are going to work here. Let me just get rid of these for now. So for the effects menu is here. And you see that there are Illustrator effects and there are Photoshop effects. Illustrator effects mostly work for vector-based images. So for example, if I go and get an image from the internet, I'm just gonna copy an image and I'm gonna paste it here. Okay, this is a pretty big image, so I'm gonna get the size reduced. Okay, so let's say you have this image here. And I'm going to make a copy of this. I'll Control C or Command C to copy, and then Control V or Command V to paste. I'll paste a couple of them. Okay, so if I wanted to create some effects on this, I can go here. There are certain things I can do with this, like the warp effect. For example, if you want to just bulge it, you can do that with Illustrator. A lot of those warp effects will work with an image. You can say wave, and it kind of creates a wave, and you can also change it. If this preview is not selected, just select it so that you can see what changes you're doing to it. Let's see. There are a couple other ones you can do, like a drop shadow. You can create some more drop shadow on this. There was already a shadow, but I'm gonna actually get out of that one. Let me see what else we can do. Like if I try to do in a 3D revolve, it's not going to work really. So some effects don't really work on images. So what I'm going to do instead is I'll just delete them all. And I'm going to use something else. So you can either create an image or you can go get a symbol and we can work on this. So let's just do the symbol. I'm going to go to symbols and I'm going to select a symbol. Let's do nature. Okay, I'm going to do a butterfly. Okay, so I'm going to use this one to make the effects. What I would recommend you to do is copy it and paste it. And however many effects you want to try, you'll have to just copy paste. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to do this because I want to try quite a few. So you can go ahead and say original for this one. And you can change the color if you want. And before I do this, let me also show you guys what your product should look like. So this is what we are trying to do. We're going to do Illustrator effects. These are done on an image, but I mean, you can do it on an image, but you're very limited with Illustrator. You can't do a whole lot. So I'm going to go ahead, put a title here that says Illustrator effects. You can increase this, change the color of it. I'm gonna make it like this. Okay. All right, so we say Illustrator effects, and I'm going to copy this, paste, and we are going to write underneath each one what effect we are working on. So let's get on this. So you go to effects. You can do extrude on this one because it's a vector-based image. So when you do that, you get this, and you see that it's kind of extruding that image. So let's just do that. And we'll call this extrude. Oops. There's also another effect you can do on this. I see there's something in here. We are gonna get rid of it. Okay, let's go to this one. Not every effect works with everything, so we're gonna do an inflate. Okay. And it's rendering, so it takes a while. You have to wait a little bit. Some of those effects may be a little too much. Actually, this is taking too long. I'm just going to stop this. I'm not going to do that one. Let's do distort and transform. We can do a zigzag effect, and you can see that that's what it's doing. We can reduce the size a little bit, and we'll just write zigzag. On this one, I'm going to do the squeeze. Okay, so you can see it's squeezing, and you can change it a little bit. And we're going to call this squeeze. This one, you can try the twist. And twist doesn't work with this one. But let me do this here. I'm going to take our car again. I'm going to get rid of these. So I'm going to do a couple of these effects on this. I'll do that to see what we can do. Okay, so this was the squeeze effect. I'm going to go to effects and let's see. Let's do a roughen. So roughen does this here. If I try to do this on this image, it's not really doing anything here. Nope, it's not doing anything. By the way, to get rid of any of the effects, what you can do is you have to have your appearance open here. So when you go to your appearance, you can see your images. So if you go to that symbol, for example, this symbol has the zigzag effect. So you can see that the zigzag effect is here. So if you want to get rid of that zigzag effect, you can click on it and just delete it. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. I don't see any effects. Okay. So this one was the roughen effect. So I'm going to just type that here. And this one, I don't know why the text is. Okay, let's select this. You can do a drop shadow. like this. And you can change that a little bit too. So this one is the drop shadow. We can do that. And we'll say drop shadow. Obviously, it was working with the okay, and then on this one, let's say rotate. Okay, it did rotate a little bit, so it worked. Oops. I'm going to call it rotate. And I'm going to try rotate on this to see if it actually works. Let's see if it works. I don't think it's working. Yeah, it doesn't really work with the image. So once you have that, you see that this is what we did. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that effect. What else can we do? So let's just go to the last one, and we can say scribble. Let's do scribble, and this is what's happening to this. If I try to do scribble on this car here, where was scribble? Here. Okay, it doesn't look like it does that on an image, so scribble works with that. Okay, so these are some of the effects that you can use, and this was our original, so I'm gonna copy that. And on this one, what kind of effects can we do? Can we do inflate? No, inflate doesn't work. So I'm going to go here, select this, and delete that. Can we do a feather effect? Okay, so you can do a feather effect on this. All right, so I'm going to copy, paste, and we're going to call it feather. I would recommend that you write down your effects before you forget them. And then on this one, well, the warp inflate, I think this one works, so I'm going to do that. No, obviously it doesn't work with that. Okay, so on this one, if I try to do inflate, what happens? Okay, it does inflate this one. So I wasn't able to do it on here, but I was able to do it here. I'm going to cancel this one. What else can you do on the image? Yeah, so you can use some of the warp effects. So that's the arc upper. So we'll put that in here. Okay, so you see that some of those effects work on vector-based images, Illustrator images, and some of those you can also work them out on here. Now, there are also Photoshop effects that you can do, and the Photoshop effects would work a lot better on your images. For example, I'm gonna get a copy of this, here, and we're going to try, first we'll try a bulge image. Okay, we'll do the bulge, and then I'm going to go and do Photoshop one, and it came up here. So this one is the crystallize. I can crystallize the image like this. Let's see. Okay, it does make that effect. We can do mosaic tiles or patchwork. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come here, I'll say drop shadow and patchwork. Okay, so if you want to try both an Illustrator effect and a Photoshop effect, just write it down here. So I'm going to do, delete this one because we have too many now. I'm going to take this one and I'll put a Photoshop effect on this. I'll do the ink outlines. And this is what it is doing. I'm going to say, okay. And this is going to be arc upper and ink outlines. Okay, so I want you guys to do this, and then you're going to save it as exercise 8 effects. All right, and this is it for today.